Well, hello. Welcome to Scaling Up by SX Philly. My name's Young Kim, and I have a terrific guest today, Joe Mindak. He is the founder of the Connective Networking Group and also Nolodex. Glad to have you, Joe. I think it's exciting of what you've been doing for the past couple of years, and to share your experiences, I think would be very beneficial.
You're listening to Scaling Up, a podcast for business leaders.
Joe, so tell us a little bit about yourself and how the Connective got started.
All right, we'll do, Young. Excited to be on this, and always great chatting with you. So I'm sure it's going to be a fun conversation. I started this kind of, out of nowhere. Really, it wasn't something I was looking to do. I'd always been a connector. I'd always been the guy like loving to introduce people, like Young, you should talk to this person. Joe, you should talk to that person, whatever it might be. I did a lot of business by referring business to other people and hoping to get it back. And I was in a bunch of networking groups. But I didn't have any intention of starting the Connective. I had sold my marketing agency. I sold I had a magazine in Hoboken as well, and I really wanted to move on to other businesses. So I sold those businesses and started a beer company and a wedding business. So none of it makes sense. It's just all around marketing. So I'm like, let me come up with good ideas, and I know how to do marketing. So I own the agency. So as I was starting those, people kept calling me, Joe, I need this, I need that. I said, well, Young, I don't do websites anymore. I sold the agency and I'm out of that business. But what are you looking for? You might be an old client of mine or a colleague or someone just looking for help. And I understand what you wanted. And I said, well, look, Young, let me introduce you to this agency that I've used that did like WordPress or an e-commerce site like Shopify, and I introduce you. And next thing you know, you hire that company, you pay them $50,000 to build a website, and I'm like, all right, what am I getting out of this, right? So in the past I had a business for you to refer me business back, but I was like, you know what? Let me go back to that agency and say, hey, listen, I just introduced you to Young. He's the president of the company. I led you directly to the decision maker. You spent 50 grand. How about I bring you another piece of business and you pay me a commission? And the agencies were like, yeah, look, that was a great client. You brought me directly, like I said, to the decision maker, and we had a great piece of business done. I'm happy to pay you. So that's really how the Connected got started. I got about a dozen agencies that were in the marketing space because that was my world, and they all paid me a commission for the rest of that year. It was originally called Finn Connective after my son's name is Finn, and I brought about $86,000 in commissions in
Wow.
by referring business, and that's when it was like, wait a second, I just made 80 something grand making introductions. Like I don't have to do any of the work. That's kind of interesting. But I had been building this network for the last 25 years. So that's how it got started. Then I got about 20 people in a room and said, listen, I just made a bunch of money making introductions. Why don't we all help each other like we do in networking, but we all pay a commission into the deal. And then we started to build, and I started to build a model after that. So that's how it kind of got started.
And that was probably about, what, 5, 6 years ago, Joe?
Yeah, about that. Yeah, it took about, the original thought was, let me try this thing out. And I did it kind of just, like I said, on my own. And then the next year was like, let me get a couple other people together and see if they're interested. And we tried out a model and how do we do it? How do we meet? When do we meet? What kind of commissions? And then we went through a couple changes to get to the model where we're at now. And really down to something that works well, price wise and all that other stuff. And then, obviously we started building the software
Yeah.
around it, which really helped us.
So when do you think the networking group like just clicked? Like you had a terrific idea, and obviously you had some really good success before it even started. Then you bring 20 people in, and luckily for me, I've been part of the Connective for a couple of years, so I've seen it grow. But what happened when you finally said, "Hey, I have X amount of members," and you just saw this going in a totally different direction?
Well, I think it really well when I started going to people with this idea and saying, "Hey, how about you get paid for referring business?" And the fact that I got paid and people were willing to pay, it was like, "Oh, this is definitely something." And then when I went to a bunch of other people, like, "Look, I'll pay you for your referrals," and they're like, "Wait, you'll pay me? I've been giving referrals out forever. You're going to pay for my referrals?" I think that changes the whole dynamic of networking, and really kind of we're looking at it as a disruptor in this networking space because Nobody's paying for that. Everyone's like, you give me a lead, I'll give you back a lead. And so we got 20 people in, which grew to 40 people. Then we started getting deals in, and it was like real deals going on because everyone was like, yeah, I'll open a door for you, Young, because you're going to pay me a commission. I can make some nice side income from making these introductions. That's what got people excited. And then when we built the first version of the software, and things really started to click, and we started building chapters, and it just it hasn't stopped since we've been going. And so I think we're on to something big, and again, it's been growing since. And now with the launch of Nolodex coming soon, it's really going to take off and grow.
Yeah,
So
I think for me it was when Nolodex really came prominent to the Connective, because it just gave everyone access to all the members. You know, you have 350 members today, and it's grown by 50, and it's going to exponentially grow more and more every year. But it was a great way to really get connected with people that have common interests. You know, to
right,
meet 350 people, that's not an easy task. And I think the Nolodex platform is going to certainly get everyone there. What successes have you
yeah,
seen so far, and challenges of getting Nolodex out? Because I agree, it's a very unique platform, and it's going to be very disruptive to networking groups. But what do you think that first hurdle is going to be? And I think you got it just recently from some of the good news you've heard. But what are some of the successes that you had recently with the Nolodex platform?
yeah. So I mean, obviously the hurdle, not so much a hurdle, but building a platform that is this robust is not easy. So that's why everyone's like, well, can't somebody else just go build what you built? I'm like, good luck. It's we've been working on this for 2 years and spent quite a lot of money on it. It's not something you can just build and somebody can build over a weekend. So the hurdle's been timing. Like we were trying to get it out there, and we launched in November, and now we're officially launching in September. Knock on wood, with the version to sell to other people. So building it has been it's been a lot, but we wanted to build it right. We don't want to put out a piece of crap that didn't work. Right? We've used software for our own stuff that just didn't work, and you can't put something in the market that doesn't work like that. So we really want to make sure it worked. And now we're seeing, we're talking to people. You always think like, hey, I got a great idea. People are going to want to do it, right? The Connective was an idea, and now we got 350, 60 people that are like, this is cool. I like it, right? So that's working. And now the software is built, and we've been using it with all our members, and they all love it. And now I've been talking to a lot of networking groups like, this is awesome. Like, this is what we need, because, a lot of networking groups, meet once a week, once a month, whatever they do. And between those meetings is no real way for them to connect to other people. And if you don't go to a meeting or you don't go to an in-person event, like, how do you know all the other members on there, right? And I have one group that's got members in 3 different cities, and none of them talk to each other, right? So the platform Nolodex allows everyone on that group in different cities to connect to each other, search by marketing people, IT people, whoever they're looking for. So people are excited about it, and then the fact that I think what I've heard from a lot of networking groups is, look, we're competing, right? We want Young in our networking group versus him joining another group in the Philly area. This is going to be a differentiator. So people that use the software to say, hey, we have a software now behind our networking group that really can connect you and increase engagement, increase membership. Everyone's incentivized to do deals, and everyone's incentivized to bring other members in. They get paid for bringing other members in, and it's all tracked on a platform that does it all instantaneously. Like, a deal goes through, you get paid. So I think networking groups like, yeah, this is going to make us so much better than the networking group down the road, and they want to really get on it. So it's exciting. So we got about 40, 50 groups already to, like,
Wow.
yeah, like, get us on, like, we want in. So
Networking group seems to be a little bit more common these days, because more like myself, I'm a fractional chief revenue officer. The word fractional has become very popular, and there's more and more people that are solopreneurs. And uh, what is your typical member, and what advice would you give to anyone that's looking for networking groups?
So, look, networking groups are great, right? I've been in them my whole life. I was in BNI for when I started my business. It was great to learn how to network and do stuff. You got to find the one that fits you, right? They're all work for a certain way, but ecosystems and communities are going to be the way business is done moving forward, right? But you have to find those communities that are a good fit for you, right? So for us with the Connective, we're all B2B. Right, I want B2B, like with BNI type groups. The tip, it's a lot of B2C. You got the local painter, the plumber, the real estate agent. That works awesome in that setting. If you're in Westfield, New Jersey, and you join a BNI group, and you're the local printer, the local whatever, it works fantastic. It doesn't work for people who are looking for more B2B, higher level type deals, which is what we were looking for. So for us, our community is B2B focused, right? And we're focused on that mid market kind of people. Look, we closed a deal for $1.5 million last year with Kia Motors, a big deal. We can do that. We can make those introductions, but we're really looking at those mid markets, those $5 to $50 million, $100 million type companies that have some money to spend, and we can get in the door to the right places. Other communities are going to be focused on fractionals, right? There's communities out there like Fractional United, or I think that's what it's called. Like they're all fractional people. So you're a fractional CMO, he's a fractional CFO, he's a fractional whatever. You could, give business to that. So I think the groups are really focused on having a kind of a niche of what they're going after, right? Hey, we're a group of marketing people, we're a group of tech people, right? But use the platform to be in that space and refer the business to each other and get paid on making introductions, but do it amongst people that are in your community and kind of same common interest, and you're all going for something. So we're looking to sell the software. We've talked to alumni groups, right?
Okay.
Why not go to your alumni and hire somebody that went to your school, and that money goes to your alumni association? Or I'm on a board of a couple charities. Like, why not put the board, all the people on the board, as a great way to raise funds? But like, hey, if you need something in your company, you need a website built, go to the charity page, find someone that does websites there, and $10,000 will be donated back to the charity for it. Like, there's so many uses for this, and so many different communities that could use it. So we're
Yeah.
excited.
So you're doing all the business development, and you have a co-founder, Adrian, and he's behind the scenes doing some of the magic too. What are your intentions, and how are you going to grow your efforts to make sure that you have the scalability to ensure that you're getting the most out of Nolodex and the connectivity that you created?
Well, again, with everything we've built, is there's incentives, right? So we've built a Connective, which is 360 businesses right now that all have helped us grow the Connective, right? Everybody gets a referral fee for bringing a member in, right? So we grow organically, and we use that network effects to exponentially grow. So those 20 new people that joined this month invite two of their friends, and they invite two of their friends. So we have 360 people that now can go out and push, and they already have been pushing Nolodex. Like, wait, I'm in another networking group. Can we use this Nolodex for that? I'm like, yeah, that's the intention of what we're doing. And there's an incentive and a compensation package for people to bring that in. So one thing is we have a built-in, sales force of 360 something people that can go out and promote it in the other groups that they're in, the chambers of commerce, the different things they're in. And then, I'm a marketing guy. I owned a marketing agency for 20 years, right? Adrian's also a marketing guy. He's more on the operations side. I'm more on the sales side of things, but we're putting the go-to market strategy together, right? We know who we're going after, and we know how to go after them, and we have a great group of resources in the Connective of people that can do all this stuff, right? Jared Gibson at Outworks that could do LinkedIn, messaging. Ferranti from Biogenomics with email marketing campaigns, SEO with Nikki. Like, there's all these resources we could tap into that are experts in different fields of marketing that we could get this out there and really know how to do it well. So we're in the middle of putting that whole market strategy together.
So as the connector grows and it's going to grow exponentially, like I said just a few minutes ago, you're going to need more people to lead chapters. What's your typical criteria if someone wants to lead a chapter? Just say, I know you're moving out westward. Just say if somebody wants to open something up, I know Arizona, somewhere in California, outside of San Fran, just say LA. What type of person would you look for to kind of really fit your profile?
Yeah, so look, we're very strict on who comes into the Connective to begin with, right? And that's something, ask about communities, like your question before. Like, if you're building a community, build it with the right people, right? If you want to just let anybody come in the door that you don't know, it's fine. We want to build it with the right people, because the right people are going to make the right introductions to the right companies for really good business deals. And the same with when we start a chapter. We want to see for us, it's like you have to be in a Connective 6 months. We want to see how you're doing. Are you bringing new members in? Are you referring business? Are you making introductions? Are you doing all that? Right? Are you at the meetings? Are you participating? Like, right? We want leaders. So we want someone that's going to lead our chapter because they're now in charge of opening a chapter in our name, using our brand and all of that. We have to protect that, right? We don't want just anybody just going and open up a chapter. So we have some criteria to fit before you start going chapter, and then we continue to build on that. We have chapter meetings every other week, for chapter heads, and continue to talk about things and how do we make the chapters better and how do we make those leaders better. What other tools can we make sure that they're leading the best chapter, bringing the best people in?
Yeah, and a couple of things that probably really good for everyone to be aware of. For me, I have a really interesting story to tell you. I go to meetings a few times a week, and there's chapters all over the place, and it's virtual. So you may have someone that lives in Philadelphia that belongs to the Florida chapter, vice versa. I actually went to a meeting in South Carolina that Karina runs, and during the breakouts where we meet other Connected members, I met someone. Um, Joe Miller was his name, and he lives 30 minutes away from me. And he said, "Young, we need to have breakfast because, I have some challenges that I think you can help me with." Um, and I told him, "Hey, you know, in a virtual world, I would love to have breakfast with you." So not only he's become a really good friend, I think we can really help each other. And the other
Yeah.
hand, Max Clark. Max Clark owns he's the head of sales for a lead gen company. After exchanging referrals, because you create that relationship, like Joe, you created relationships and you give out a referral because you know the job that they're going to do is going to be really, really good. We created an offering not only for the Connected members, but for people outside of the Connected members because we felt that there's a need for lead gen and sales management or selling techniques for companies that really need help with the business development. So for me, those are two perfect examples where you could really collaborate with other members to grow your business. And the second part is you can meet potential clients through the Connected because you have people that are solopreneurs and also small, medium-sized business owners, which is pretty special.
Right.
So, so far this year, being a member has been great for me. I'm hoping that we can get the word out and you can grow the membership because obviously it's only going to help the members by growing it. Because I look forward to every week going to a meeting, and I've been going to meetings for 2 years. I'm still meeting people that are new. I'm like, what I need to go to this happy hour and meet people that's an hour and a half away, where I could just go online and meet new people every week. So that's pretty cool.
Right. Yeah. And we continue to bring in great people, right? You feel like a Dave McFarland that just joined a
Yeah,
month ago. He's given out a ton of referrals and good referrals. Again, we're not giving out BS referrals. We're making sure people give good referrals. He's given me two great referrals, right? And tons of other people that have joined are just great. And yeah, so yeah, we'll keep adding more and more great people to the group, and it's just more and more connections and doors to be
yeah,
open.
yeah. Just like 2 weeks ago, Jen Halpern, really great speaker, great person. Uh, I'm a fractional CRO, and you figure, you know what, Young could probably do sales training. Well, not really. I'm more of a sales operations guy, and I had a good friend of mine that really needed sales training. And I was perfectly honest with her because I've known her for so long and said, me, like I'm a sales operator and I don't really do sales training. So I really could have probably done the work, but I knew deep inside that Jen would probably do better, because that's what she does,
Right.
99% of the time. That's what I do 5% of the time. And it was cool knowing that, hey, I'm going to be taking care of a friend that I've known for 20 years because Jen will do a great job, and
Yeah.
it took some time to develop that confidence. But after meeting with Jen and getting to know the community, it's really helped me in that sense. You can
Yeah.
confidently work with people knowing that the end result is going to be very positive. So, uh,
Yeah. I have one client of mine, a friend of mine, head of marketing, and he's like, every time I see him, thank you so much for introducing me to Mike. He's done such an awesome job. He changed the way we do our business. So now he comes back to the Connective every time he needs something. He's like, I need a resource for this. I need a resource for that. He comes back and asks me. So I'm confident to give him the names of the people because every time I do, it makes me look good. So it really works well. That's why you vet people out. Just don't let anybody in the
Yeah.
group.
Joe, so I have to ask, you had all this momentum through the years and things are going great. How much revenue you think could be generated through the Connective when it comes to referrals? It don't have to be exact, but what do you think it'll be by the end of this year?
As far as total revenue, or just from referral
Like referral
fees?
revenue. Like if I gave
Yeah,
someone a $25,000 referral, that'd be 25,000 in referral revenue.
yeah. Oh, yeah. So, um, I'm guessing probably four or $500,000. I mean, it gets up there, right? I mean, you have some deals that are, we had one deal last year was a $50,000 commission. That was the commission, not even a deal. The deal was 1.5. So when you look at it, there's money going through, and there's deals happening, all day long. I see, and a lot of it are smaller deals. There could be deals that are, $2,500 a month, and there are deals that are, there's one the other day for $38,000 in one deal, right? So there's definitely significant deals going through the group. So, yeah, I mean, by the end of this year, we're hoping to be $1 million company. We're on track to get there, and next year we'll, with Nolodex launching, that'll be a whole different animal. Now, they're two separate companies, but under the same umbrella, really. So Connective will just continue to grow, and the amount of deals going on are continue to grow with more people coming in. So, yeah, so it's pretty healthy with the revenue, and that helps the members. They're like, hey, I'm getting, one of the members just got $1,800 on a deal this week. That's $1,800. They pay $1,200 to be a member of the group. She just received $1,800 on one deal that she referred for, one introduction. She just made, her money back plus another $600, and then everything else is gravy from there. And there's been actually a few other deals that she's received and also referred out. So it's like a per member thing. Like, people are getting their return on that investment that they're doing.
So in the next couple of years, I'm sure you have some terrific plans on growing the Connective and Nolodex. Uh, where do you think this whole platform and network group is going to be in just say like 3 years?
So our goal in the next 3 years is to get to about 2-3 thousand communities on the platform, right? And we can do that, right? We haven't even begun to scratch the surface or even try and sell this thing, and we have 40-50 communities that are like, get me on the system. So, and that's just from people telling other groups about it. We haven't done any outreach yet,
Yeah.
right? So yeah, so we're looking at, once some groups start talking about this, and like the people that are already in the Connective using Nolodex saying, hey, raising their hand, hey, I just had one of the members yesterday was like, I got two groups I'm in. I think they'd love to use this platform. I just think there's so many opportunities for different things. Like I said, alumni, charities, chambers of commerce, all these different people, even like a BNI, like they don't do commissions, but like the platform's not that great. Like the platform for a networking group is awesome. So yeah, so we see, our goal is to get to about 3,000, and that'll get us to 20-30 million dollars in revenue,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
I think people are tired of LinkedIn. I think, like you go on there and nobody's really connecting. Everyone's sending the same message all the time. Like, hey, your profile looked interesting. We should connect. Like, and it's the same message 5 times. Like, it just got so oversaturated, and there's billions of people on there. How do you really connect to each other? So these smaller communities are a lot more efficient, where it's like there's 200 people that are in the same boat as you, and the same, like I said before, maybe they're all fractionals, and it's a lot easier to refer, and you get to know people, and build those relationships and refer them. LinkedIn's just a vast, wasteland of just everybody trying to hit each other up and do it. And I think nobody's really, honestly, scratched the surface on competing with
Yeah.
them in any real form. So I'm not saying we're taking down LinkedIn, trust me, but we may take a dent, and people will still use LinkedIn to find the people, but they'll go to the community to make the introductions, right?
Yeah.
So you go on LinkedIn, find who you want to meet, and go to the Connective or whatever community and be like, hey, Young, you're connected to that person. Can you introduce me to him? Yeah, I will, because now you're going to make a commission in the Connective for making that introduction. So you can find people on LinkedIn. It's just coming to something like Nolodex to get somebody to make the introduction.
Yeah. It sounds like the project we're doing right now in the middle of trying to utilize the members just to see who we can get connected with when it comes to typical clients we work with and see if members are connected with those particular potential clients. Um, so I'm
Right.
interested. I don't want to talk too much about it because we're still kind of blueprinting it, but there's a ton of opportunity, especially when members want to help other members, but sometimes they don't know how.
Right.
This additional connectivity, I think, is going to be a game changer. So I'm hoping that it's going to work
Definitely.
out well. And Joe, we're in that together, so we'll know in a couple of weeks how it turns out. So I'm excited about that. You know,
Yeah, I'm excited. Yeah, it was a good meeting the other day, and I'm excited about what you guys are bringing to the table.
So, Joe, before we end this terrific call, I want to say outstanding job of what you developed, and I know it's not an easy road, but it seems like you got a path to be really successful. What advice would you give someone that is trying to take advantage of the network of people that they really created just for being themselves, and if they want to kind of monetize it? Because at the end of the day, they want to get into something like the Nolodex to help them manage through it. But if they wanted to create a group, do you have any advice that you could kind of give out there without giving out the secret sauce, of course?
Yeah. Well, listen, one thing for individuals that are joining any networking group, you gotta put the time in to do it. Like, right, we see a lot of people, and it's always been that way in networking groups where they join and they don't really put the time in, right? You've joined this group to get people. There's in the connector, there's 360 people you could connect with, and they're all incentivized to open a door for you. But you got to put the time in to meet these people, talk to them, go to the meetings and stuff. And we see people that come on for 3, 4 months. Yeah, nothing's happening. Well, yeah, I haven't even seen your face in months. Like, you're not doing anything. Like, you gotta, and I don't understand why anyone that owns a business or is in charge of sales, wherever, that joins groups just like the Connective and any other group, and then doesn't really participate. You're paying us money, go out and participate. For people that are starting communities, right? Our secret sauce, and not giving anything away, is that we pay commissions. Pay the people to give to make
Yeah, I
introductions.
don't think that's
It's
a
going to
secret
go.
sauce.
Yeah, it's not. So I mean, we're selling out there, but like, hey, look, you have an option of opening. Look, you're going to open up a BNI group, right? Right? If that's what you want to do, is do networking. And I love BNI; it's a great organization, but you're basically working for the company, and it's all going there. Here, you run your own group. You have a software that takes care of running everything for you. All the membership, it collects all the membership dues. It has a platform to connect to everybody, and you keep that
Yeah,
money. Why are you going to go build a group for somebody else? Build it for yourself and keep the money for yourself and run that group. And now you have a group that's incentivized to open doors for each other, and those members get a cut, and then you get a cut by being the owner of the group. And then just really pick something that you're going to be great at, right? Maybe it's you're going to start a chapter or a networking group of all Notre Dame alumni, right? Because you went to Notre Dame, and bring in your other alumni. Or my buddy Ken, he was in like the advertising world, like television, radio, stuff like those people. There's the thing that they all connect to each other, and hey, do that. Bring those people in that you know from your world, and be like, guys, why don't we all connect to each other? We've all known each other for 20, 30 years, been doing business. Like, let's all get on this platform. I'll pay for it, run it, but we'll all help each other get doors open to other business for each other, right? And it also helps people get jobs, helps people with a lot of other things, right? I just one of my friends, their nephew needed a job. I just got him a job, right? So there's a lot of things you do, but find a community that's going to be something that you're passionate about, something that everyone else is going to be passionate about being in, and then, hey, pay everyone a commission to get that thing done. So and open doors. It's going to just generate a lot more income for
well,
everyone.
Joe Mindak, the chief connector, the founder of the Connective and Nolodex. Hey, it was great talking to you, and thank you so much for your time, and hope you with the world
Oh,
of
of course.
success.
Thanks, John. Thanks for being part of
Oh,
it.
my
It's
pleasure.
been great.